and
Our
welcome back.
intro.
Hello,
Yes.
hello, and welcome
Hello.
back. This is another episode of the podcast. You are the masterpiece. And I'm here again, your host, Irina Portnova. I call myself Manifestation Star because I manifested a lot of great things in my life. And I'm here to teach you how to do it effortlessly and with ease and grace. And I'm here joined by my guest, Tamara Lee Patrick. Tamara, thanks so much for joining me today. How are you?
I'm wonderful, and thank you so much for this opportunity. I am absolutely excited about Christmas, so we're here.
Yes, we are in the right season. That's right. And today is the Christmas Eve. If anybody is watching us live, just wanted
Yes.
to wish everybody great celebration. And remember, celebration is not just about the holidays. We can celebrate ourselves every day in every way. We do not have to wait for a special occasion to just, enjoy the life to the fullest because every day we are waking up and we are breathing, it's already something worthy of our celebration.
Absolutely.
All yes. So, Tamara, tell a little bit about yourself and what you're doing in this beautiful world.
Well, I am a mother to two and a Mimi to seven, and I was in the military for 17 years, and
Mm.
I am a disabled veteran. I am um, I am a transformational life coach now, and I help women over 50 that are navigating a major life change to pivot with style.
Mm. I love it. I love it. And, like I like the topic that we are going to talk today about pivot with style. But
Yes.
before we dive in, just, like let's just tell our audience that we are all masterpieces and the work in progress in the same time because a lot of times we are waiting for that special moment to hit because we are going to say to ourselves, okay, when the kids are going out to the college, then I'll do something that I want to do when I have more money, when I have more time, but that more never comes to us,
Yes.
right? So we learn with this work that the circumstances are always going to be there, the conditions is always going to be there, but we learn how to maneuver around and actually choose ourselves, prioritize ourselves, knowing that this life is precious and nobody knows how long we have in this world, right? So why
Yes.
don't we take each moment that we are living and breathing and make something magical out of it?
Yes. I agree.
And that's exactly the topic about pivot with style. Tell people more. What does it mean and how you can help them?
Okay, so in the military, they taught us to right face and left face and about face. Sometimes we have to go to the left or go to the right. And when I say go to the left or go to the right, you have to know when to change things. And if things aren't going your way, you have to change it. You have to make it so much better. And I believe that everybody has a purpose and everybody needs to find that purpose. Well, when you find that purpose, your life really starts to thrive. And when you thrive, everything seems to just come back to your heart and you just seem to enjoy life. And I want people to enjoy life. I think that if people enjoy life, things get better where people aren't so mean and nasty all the time. Because sometimes people are judgmental so yeah, that's what I'm anyway. So sometimes
Awesome.
you have to pivot and just say, it's kind of like, doing the cha-cha slide. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody may not know what the cha-cha slide is, but it says, go to the left, y'all. Go to the right.
Yeah. Yeah, I love
y'all."
this song.
And I love that song. I've loved it for a long time. And I learned it when I was in the military, and didn't know anything about it until then. And then I was like, oh, that's cool. And then when I started doing pivot with style, of course, you pivot. And the reason I changed my name of my business to pivot coaching is because I think that, when you hit that wall, hitting a wall is kind of like, bam, and then you have to turn. And when you turn, you can do it with style. You don't have to be afraid of it. You can turn with style and be like full of grace, and it's just a great time. I
Mm,
think change is a great time because changing, when you have to change, you have an opportunity to just do whatever you want to do. I think that, like me, I went to school to be, I was a realtor for a while, and then I went into interior design, and I said, oh, I'm an interior designer. I'm going to love it. And I was kind of like, maybe not. I
mhm.
like to help people look at their rooms or whatever and change it, but I don't like all that, "Oh, do this," yeah, I don't like all that, but I do like to help people set things up. So, with that being said, I like to help people set their life up for success. So that's what I do.
I love what you shared. And you know what comes to me, change is a part of our life, right? And a
Yes,
lot of times people do not want to change, but sooner or later we are all pushed for
yes,
changes, right?
I
And
agree.
we are learning through this work that it's okay and it's all right to embrace that change and know that change is actually always for our own good. Whatever change is coming, like you said, it's just Tamara, for us to embrace it, accept it, and move along. So we learn how to navigate through these changes and feel in our skin, and we are picking up some skills on the
Yeah,
way, right? And that's the beauty of it, because our energy is always in the move, and since we are all energetic beings, right, we
uh-huh,
learn how to move with grace and ease. And when we are really working on ourselves, we understand how we can tackle any problem and solve it, and do not dwell on it, do not sit
yeah.
with that, and just really, really, pivot ourselves. Can you like share any personal story where you really pivoted from some kind
Yes,
of situation?
I can. You know, I'm separated right now. So that separation was just a pivot in its own because I had to go from being over 50 and married to over 50 and not being married. And even though we are still legally married, it's not, we're separated. But I had to relearn that life is okay either way it goes. Um, and at first I was like, "Oh, I'm such a failure. I failed at my marriage. It's such a horrible thing." And then I was like, "You know what? No, I didn't fail. It was a learning experience. My husband and I are very good friends right now, and I go to him and ask him for things, but or not things, but I talk to him about my business. I talk to him about how I can change this or change that. So, we're always steadily changing. And when I had to change it, it was kind of like when we separated, oh my, we had to, I had to rethink things. I'm over 50. Do I want to go back to work? I'm an interior designer. Do I want to go work for somebody else? No, I really don't because I have that, I don't want I just want to help other people. I don't want to sit back and go, "Oh, I'm so," no. I just want to help other people pivot and change their life, when I changed my life, it was hard. It really was. I went from being a um, married woman that really I had my stuff. I thought it was together, but obviously it wasn't so together because we are separated. But
Mm-hmm.
when I changed, when you do change, that story in itself was just a big change. But the biggest thing is I went from being this woman that is afraid of everything. I want to give to everybody. I'm a giver, and people sometimes take that as a weakness.
Mm-hmm.
And when you try to be nice to people, they try to take that as a weakness. I'm not weak in any mind. I'm not weak in my body. I'm not weak at all. And I don't believe anybody else is weak, especially in their mind. I think that if they just change their mindset, they can, I had to change mine. I had to go from being this woman that sat back and said, "Oh, yes, I'll help you. Yes, I can do that. Yes, I can do that," to, "Well, I can't really do that." No, I had to learn to set boundaries. And when you set those
Mm-hmm.
boundaries, you have to make sure that people don't cross them. And that
Mm-hmm.
was another issue is I let people change those bound or cross those boundaries. But when you set those boundaries, you start making sure you know who you are. And that's the biggest part of change is knowing who you are. Um, just yesterday, it was so funny because I used to collect angels, any kind of angels. I would collect them and hold on to them. And then all of a sudden, I just quit. And then the other day, I found some angels and I was like, oh, those are so pretty. I want them. Uh, but you know what? I took them and I am going to display them in my house because I'm finding out, I'm remembering who I was. And
Mm-hmm.
that's a big part of change is remembering who you are. But you have to know where you're going. So if we make a roadmap, it helps us navigate that change. And then you pivot with style.
I love it. Actually, like the story resonates with me because I was just recently divorced. We divorced this year, but it wasn't already the painful experience for me because I was on the verge of divorce 6 years ago. I actually manifested our marriage back that time.
Uh-huh.
But as I was growing, I understood that like we were growing apart because we were not growing together. And talking about the working on yourself, how powerful it is, right?
Yes.
Because in that process I became a different person. I became the person who is okay with whatever is going on around. So the point is that when you really connect with yourself, when you work on yourself, then you realize nothing else is going to shake your world. There is nothing that's going on in the economy, nothing what's going on in the news, nothing, like if your partner leaves you, if you lose the job, if you have the issues with the health. Once you know that power and you connect with that power that you have inside of you, you know that you can handle anything, because a lot of times we are not aware how powerful we are, and we all can tap to that power in within ourselves. Yes, it takes time. Yes, it takes some effort, but once you partner with that power inside of you, you become fearless and life becomes limitless. That's
Yeah.
exactly why I love it.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. That's what I meant about that. Being able to take any failure as a learning experience and changing your mindset about it instead of saying, "Oh, I failed." Say, I learned that. Like my husband used to want to play video games all day. Well, he had spent 33 years in the military. And in my mind, I'm like, we should be working together to get this stuff. But he worked 33 years in the military. He worked hard those years. So he just figured it was okay to do, to spend that time on the video games, which now I understand. He had to have a peace. He had to find peace. And if that gave him peace, I should have let him have peace. And that's the hardest part is because sometimes we have to know what we did wrong as well as what somebody else did. So forgiveness is such a big part of it too, because you have to learn to forgive others as well as yourself. And then all that negative things that happen to you, you have to use that and say, as much as I hate to say it, you have to be grateful for that because
Mhm.
that's what made you who you are. You know,
Absolutely.
your divorce, that made you a little stronger. That made you a little tougher.
Mhm.
And you can manifest it. I believe in
Absolutely.
manifesting, but I also, you know, I believe that my higher power, my God, is a big part of it. And
Exactly.
I don't want to, I'm not trying to cross a line with religion, but my God is where when I turned my life back over to God, is when I started thinking, oh my goodness, I learned who I was and where I was because of that. And I always tell the story. I was at church and I didn't want to go to church. I really did not. But my pastor and his wife lived next door to me and they really helped me out. So I felt obligated to go. And then when I went, they played this song and it was called Nobody by Casting Crowns. And in that song, it said, I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody. And that's what I want to do. I want to tell everybody they can change. I want to tell everybody that change is not an issue. It's how we deal with that change.
Mm-hmm.
If we just change and say, if we can go left or right, sometimes we have to go to the left. Sometimes we have to go to the right. But sometimes we have to do a complete about face. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you it's it's like um telling yourself, no pain, no gain. Now we all know that you can gain without pain. You know that. But that's something we learned along the way. That was one of those, belief systems that we have learned. And we have learned that, sometimes we sit back and we go, oh my goodness, I don't know what to do. I don't know. But if you sit down and really think about it and create that roadmap to fixing that change, it's a little easier. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be a little easier. And I guess that's my point. So,
Mm-hmm. I love what you mentioned about, like becoming a different version of yourself, because
yes,
that's exactly what happens, right? It's not even, like when I talk about manifestation, I always teach my clients, you are not enjoying so much what you're manifesting, but you are actually manifesting a new version of yourself, but who you become in the process. Because during this time you are growing, you are not the same person as you used to be. And
um,
that upgraded version of you is already somebody who is more stronger, who is more resilient, who is somebody who is not like, shaking if anything
right.
comes wrong, right? Somebody who can stand in their power, somebody who can say, hey, like life just brings something on to me and I know I can handle. I
Yeah.
know I have the skills, I know I have the tools to navigate it easily and with grace. And that's exactly how we actually grow our character, and how we up level our self image, and how we become just exposed to this other side of life where everything works out for us.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. And that's how I feel too, because I just, like I said, it just seems like, life hands us so many different things that
Mm-hmm.
it's really hard to, you know, excuse me. I don't know what happened. Anyway, life hands us so many things sometimes. And, we don't know which way to go. And we don't know, you know, but last year or this year in 2024, I fought a war on negativity. And I used
Mm-hmm.
to tell everybody, I'm fighting a war in 2024. I'm fighting that war on negativity, negative self talk, negativity to other people, just negative, um, negative mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes we'll look at people and go, ooh, what was you thinking? They might have thought that way for a reason. Maybe they thought they were cute. Let them think that. It doesn't matter. Um,
Mm-hmm.
if yourself, sometimes we have to look at ourselves and go, oh, today I'm not really that, I'm having a bad hair day, but I'm still beautiful. I'm still
Totally.
amazing. I'm
Mm-hmm.
still, and that's part of it, because when we change, sometimes we get to that point where we're just like, ooh, I don't even like myself sometimes. But
Mm-hmm.
you have to get past that. You have to get past that. And I believe that if you forgive things, that helps your mindset. And once you start forgiving yourself, that mindset just grows and grows
Absolutely.
and grows. And then, of course, back to that pivot, we can pivot with style and, you know, go to the left jaw, go to the right jaw.
So true. And I wanted to also add to, you do not have to do it alone. There are
No.
so many great people, like, join the community, have the mentor, have the coach by your side, because we do not see our blind spots, and it's easy very to, like, sit and live in the fear or self-doubt. That's why you want to have somebody by your side who can take your hand
Yes.
and say, hey, I've got you. I know
Yes.
you can do it, because everybody was overcoming something in their life. Even that person that's listening to us, just, go back in the time and think, what was something that you thought you wouldn't be able to handle, but you
Yes.
had no choice but to handle it, right? So we are
Yes.
all more powerful than we think we are, but sometimes we just want somebody to be by our side, somebody who understands us, somebody who accepts us for who we are without any judgment, and so we don't feel guilt, we do not feel shame, we feel accepted, we feel
Yes.
loved, we feel cared for. Yes.
Yes.
Tamara, I just love your, what is there? You have like this surprise bag.
I
Can you
do. I
see
have
what's
this.
in there?
Okay,
Yes.
so I have this Christmas present that I got, and I have two of them really, but it's okay. One of them, okay, so in this bag, I want everybody to know what I've got. Oh, look, I have positivity. Do I want to take
Mm,
that with me or do I want to leave it? Do we want to return it to, or the day after tomorrow? We can go back and return things. So
mm-hmm,
I think I'll take forgiveness and keep it into the next year.
mm-hmm,
Let me see what else I got. Oh, I got negativity. Oh, let's take that and throw it away. Let's just
mm-hmm,
give it away. Let's take it back and return it. You know, like when some people give you a gift and you don't want it, we can take it back and return it. So that's
mm-hmm,
what I'm going to say with that. Okay. So then I have forgiveness. I think I'm going to take that one in. I'll take that one into the new year and forgive myself and forgive others, and we'll go with
mm-hmm,
it. Let me see. I I think there's more in here. Unforgiveness. We'll throw that away. We'll just take that and throw that away, and we'll take that back to the store on the day after tomorrow. I might not wait. Well, tomorrow the stores are going to be closed, so I guess I'll wait. But
mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to take that back. But I think I will keep that, the forgiveness. And then resentment.
Mm,
We better take that back to the store too. And I think with the opposite of resentment is happiness.
mm-hmm,
I'm going to take that into the new year. I want
mm-hmm.
that one. I'm going to keep that present for real. And then negative self talk. Mm, let's get rid of that. Let's take that back to the store too. And with that, we're going to put positivity. Affirmations. A lot of people say affirmations are bull, but you know what? I'm a firm believer in affirmations.
Totally, it worked for me big time.
Yeah,
Yes.
when you start telling yourself things, you start believing it. And when you start believing it, then your life just starts to come out. So
Mm.
I'm going to take that with me into the new year. And then what else do I got? Hmm.
How
What
about gratitude? Did you receive any gift of
I
gratitude?
do have gratitude. I'm going to take that with me
Mm,
too. Oh, yeah, gratitude. Gratitude is really going to go with me into the new year. And, just thinking about things that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful that I have this time. I'm grateful for the networking that we're doing. I'm grateful for my business. I'm grateful for my house. You know, if you tell yourself all that, you you can't you cannot be negative. You can't.
mhm.
Um, my pastor told an analogy the other day, and it was so funny because he said there was three guys walking, and they had two bags each, one on the front and one on the back. So one guy, so they said, okay, what do you have in your bag? And the guy said, in the front, I have bad things. And in the back, I have good things. But he was all humped over. And he was like, all the bad things are in front so that I can keep them in front of me so that I know what not to do again. But the good things are just there. It didn't help pull those back because he had all those bad things in front of him. So then the next guy, they said, this guy was walking a little straighter, but he's like, what do you have in your bag? Well, I have the good things in the front and the bad things in the back. And he was kind of leaning back. The bad things were kind of weighing him down. And the good things were there, but he seen them, but the bad things were weighing him down. So then the third guy had a bag and he said, what's in the bag? He said, well, I have all the good things in the front. And he was leaning forward and, but he had all of that good things in there. The guy said, well, what's in your bag? In your next bag? He said, oh, there's nothing in there because there's a hole in that bag. I put all the bad things in there and there's a hole in the bag and the bag just everything goes out. So he was letting all that bad go. And that's kind of what we have to
Mhm.
do. But anyway,
Yeah.
so now let's see what else I have. What else do I have? I have gladness. And I am so happy and so excited. I'm excited for a new year. That's my excitement.
Mhm.
I'm excited for that new year. And I'm kind of like that anyway. My birthday is on the 30th and then the 31st and then the 1st. So those 3 days, my whole life just
You
starts over.
celebrate. Mhm.
Yes, and it starts over. So I'm going to take all that excitement with me. I'm going to get rid of all this negativity and stuff like that. I'm going to take it back to the store. But the last thing I have in my bag is a relationship with God. And I have to work on that a lot because for so long I was mad at God. I was mad at God because I felt like He let me down. But God never lets us down, He doesn't. So I have to take my relationship with God into the new year. And I'm going to get rid of this anger towards God. So,
Mhm.
anyway, that's my story. Um,
Awesome.
yeah.
Yes, awesome. So, Tamara, let's just tell people, like wish them great, great holiday season. And it was super powerful. Thanks so much for coming today. Thanks so much for sharing your wisdom. And just, for everybody to understand that even if we fall, we can rise up and we can pivot with style.
Yes, and that's what I said. Those walls, they're nothing. Just pivot and walk
Yes,
away. And
absolutely.
take that pivot with excitement and just say, "Yep, let's do this." So, that's mine.
Awesome. Awesome sauce. Thank you so much again. Have a beautiful, beautiful holiday. And for everybody who is watching us, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, and all the best
And
in this world.
you all
And
have
continue,
a
yes, and continue
happy
being
holiday.
that masterpiece.